Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of the L Forum Leadership Series. Today, I have the privilege and honor of speaking to a person who straddles multiple worlds and wears multiple hats. He's a corporate leader, he's a social entrepreneur, he's a philanthropist, and sports enthusiast. So he wears multiple hats, and I'm very excited to talk to our guest for this show and give us his insights on leadership and entrepreneurship. Welcome, Firo.
Thank you, Ringo. My pleasure. The most interesting aspect, which people often don't put too much emphasis on, is that the measure of scale is time. Okay, and let me try to explain that. So I say a good entrepreneur can be measured by how long has he been on that journey, and which often always means that you have to keep reinventing yourself over and over again. So the ability to remain relevant for a long period of time is a good indication of being a good entrepreneur or a good leader. So good entrepreneurs fall in love with the problem, and then the solution is an outcome of their passion to solve that problem. I'm not thinking about just the solution. Once you think deeply about the problem, the solutions will happen, right? Mm-hmm. So the most important element is to fall in love with the problem. So in some ways, I love to solve complex problems, so that kind of inspires me to do it. But I also want to do it for the right reasons, right? So I'm not trying to make money out of it. And maybe that's a fundamental difference that I've seen with entrepreneurs who work for profit versus entrepreneurs who work for impact. In the social spectrum, in my social enterprise, I am centralizing on purpose and decentralizing on power. Whereas on the business context, I'm actually centralizing on power, decentralizing on purpose. Entrepreneurial venture needs a team, right? And how do you get a team? How do you get people to sign up? Is to show your vision, which is centered on purpose, right? Every company has a purpose statement, but let's be honest, is that what you live day in and day out for? Probably not. The most important element I see is that you need as an entrepreneur is absolute clarity of vision. This is super important. Most people are not have that level of clarity, and this is, by the way, true for all leaders, right? Leaders have an incredible clarity of what they're trying to achieve. They're able to kind of remove all the noise out of the system and focus on the one thing that they're passionately wanting to solve. I think repetition is the best way to do it, right? Repeat it often, tell it loud and clear. And there are studies to show that, if you want people to understand your strategy, tell it at least 7 times. You have to do the same things over and over again, but make it look like you're doing it for the first time. And with more clarity, I think you're able to articulate it in a much better form as well. So I think there are no shortcuts, unfortunately, Ringo. This is a constant evolution, and you can only get better. I think a good team means that you are able to sell your vision in a way that you've got really good people to back you up. So a good team is very important. Second is, do you really have patience? Because this is a long, difficult journey. And last but not the least, I'll always go back to, how passionate are you about solving the problem? It took me a decade to understand that there are 7 different, sometimes very opposing things that has to be worked on, right? From awareness to education to employment to assisted living to so on. It's really, really complex. So it's a multi-dimensional problem that you're trying to solve. And there are multiple pulls and pushes that happen in every system. But the most important element, and this is something I found relevant not just in the social space, but also in large companies, is what I call as the public lies and private truths. Okay. And this is something that you have to be extremely aware of. A person who is personally invested in your success, because he's the only one who's going to give you an honest feedback. Okay. Have a compelling idea, number one. Build a world-class team, which is super important, and have patience. My thumb rule is do something for at least 10 years. If it's for less than 10 years, don't even get into that journey.
Thank you very much for your time and wish you all success and all the best to you.
Thank you for having me in your talk. Thank you.
Like, share, and subscribe to the EL Forum channel. Click the link below to enjoy the full video.